Hello, and welcome back to another video where we're in the menu system. Like an idiot. Like an idiot. Okay, so who are we going to use today? I was originally thinking about using Zune U here, but I've decided against it because I think he'll be fairly easy to use. The one person I don't recall liking when I first used him, but this was before Transcendence, was Zhao Dun. And let's go over it. So his emblems, we have Strength, Slay, they're fine. We have Wei, Brave General, and Commander, which on paper sounds great because Wei and Commander have barrier damage and Brave General has barrier damage, and Wei is one of the best clan emblems to have. Zhao Dun is the one that gives Wei and Commanders barrier damage. So he's not going to have two forms of barrier damage, which is going to really kind of hurt him, in my opinion. But I mean, he still gets advantage of Cao Cao. He still gets Yuji Yaso. He is Brave General, so I mean Zhang Liao. And what is Shibata? Katsui Shibata. So he does get, an extra barrier damage that way. So, it's not too bad. But he well, I guess he still has A. So his traits, he increases his attack by 5% for every way. He slightly charges his Musou when you inflict wound. He also cuts 1 second off of summoning cooldown when you inflict wound, and then you get an attack speed by 10% when you knock an enemy into the air. It's not too difficult to do, but when we transcend, he doesn't gain anything. Kind of wish he kind of did. Obviously, this goes from 100 to 120 and then adds Commander. His traits, we get an 8% attack for every way, which is nice. And then we have a 2-second reduction to summoning cooldown when you inflict wound. Everything else is the same. This is kind of middle of the road. I would say this is probably, this is like comfortably into B, maybe. Probably, definitely no lower than C. I think if he didn't have the reduction to cooling, it would be a C. Or if he didn't have the 8%, I think both of those make it a B. All right, let's get into it. I'm gonna finally use him. He is Slay, so we're gonna take advantage of this to have a little bit more barrier damage. We are not doing level 5. I should let that run a little longer. I can always re-record it for my own personal needs. So his quick movement, I don't recall like absolutely hating him. But I don't recall, like I was not too impressed with his whatchamacallit. I guess there is Dan Wei. There's no reason to go flames just yet. The Karma, no reason to take a 3-phase. For summoning, when we're not gonna have that many summons. Alrighty. Everybody's day. How is everybody's day going? I'm hoping this is being recorded on a Tuesday before I go into work. No, let's go. I don't know if this is going to be able to go out on a Wednesday, or at least it's not going to be out at 10 on a Wednesday when I normally release my Warriors Abyss videos, which I should probably pick up. I guess I can always just make that post, but I'll say it in here for those that are curious. We're gonna take the UA Jin. We're getting kind of really lucky with all the Wei emblems. I think every single one we've taken so far has been Wei. Anyways, but it won't happen for a good bit, but I will be changing. There it is. C5 is really good. I'll be changing the uploads once Time Stranger comes out. We're gonna take Slay. when Time Stranger comes out. So we'll do Tuesdays and Thursdays will be Warrior Abyss videos, and then Monday, Wednesday, and Friday will be the Digimon videos. So I can get that out. It might even be like Warrior Abyss just goes on a little bit of a hiatus. I don't really know right now, but Digimon will be uploaded pretty frequently. I'll be batch recording those. I mean, you don't do anything. We'll re-roll just once. Look at that. We were rewarded for my re-roll. Because I have a huge, well, 3,000 for 10. That was probably not the best decision there. I have a huge inkling that I'm pretty sure Digimon's gonna consume my life for a good bit. And hopefully I can get that done before Where Winds Meet comes out. Because that comes out, funny enough, comes out on my mom's birthday, November 14th, which is kind of cool. We'll take the double vigor. The double vigor, and obviously don't need the peach tree. Why would we need that? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. His C5 is like the go-to. C3 isn't terrible. Nope, yeah, I ran into that one. Stop shouting. Oh my god, why does it feel like he runs like he has weights on his body? That's C2, or that C3 is pretty great. C2 is not bad. Bop, 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 bop. I mean, that does some damage. That does some damage. We haven't checked out his Musou yet. We'll check that out later. Oh boy. How unlucky can you get? The very last one. Love that. Where the hell did that show up? We'll take Charm. I think I'll need some Charm. Alright. Bop, bop, bop. Rap, da, bam, boom. Hey, I think. Oh, Tears of Blood. Is it gonna be 3,000 to make up for that blunder I just made? We'll take Speed, Slay. I mean, more Slay equals more better. So, I just listened to a video. It was one of Oz's Vaults videos. I think it's, you know what, let me double check. I know it's Oz, but it's the channel name Oz Vault. Yeah, Oz's Vault. He reads Reddit stories. And for the most part, you know, his takes are, some of them I think are a little more wackier than others, but there was one that, I don't know, it just rubs me the wrong way. What am I adding him? Whatever. But it's fine. There's, it was a divorce one where it's from a husband's perspective. That's the OP. His wife, for at least a year, was cheating with the next door neighbor. Divorces him. And then moves in with that neighbor, right? So I have to assume right next door. But maybe they relocate, I don't know. Or the husband relocates. But the husband, on occasion, was, you know, bad-mouthing the boyfriend, the ex's boyfriend, and sometimes doing it in front of the kids. Which I would have to full-on state right now, don't do that. Even their partner, regardless of the situation. And that goes for either, like, don't do that. It's just not gonna, you look petty. Even if you're in the right, you do look petty. But Oz, I don't know, I just did not agree with his take on it. He more so harped on the guy bad-mouthing the boyfriend in front of the kids more than the wife for cheating for over a year. For over a year. And people in the comment section, because he made a pinned comment, you know, stating that he forgot to add that what the father is doing could be considered, you know, a legal matter in parental parental isolation or alienation, as some people may know it as. And yes, to a certain extent, he could be. A lot of people were saying, well, he wasn't saying anything bad about the ex-wife, just about her boyfriend. But I mean, that how a kid perceives that, if you're shit-talking the person they're with, you're also shit-talking the person. Like, right? Like, even if you were still married and somebody was shit-talking your wife, you would be insulted, because that is in and of itself indirectly insulting you. And I get why he's insulting him, because, I mean, ew, gross. Like, you cheated, I mean, for over a year, and like, yeah, he's probably a big stupid doo-doo head. But a lot of people were basically going like, well, maybe there was problems in the relationship and that's why she cheated. Just completely giving her an out. Completely giving the ex-wife an out. It's just like, yeah, well, yeah. If this was reversed and it was a wife talking about how her husband cheated on her for a year and was bad-mouthing her ex's now girlfriend or so, nobody would really bat an eye. Nobody would really care. No one would really call out any wrongdoing. It should be justified. And I think she would be justified, just like I think he is justified. Now he has to do it in a proper manner, though. Boy, I'm gonna have to relocate that audio. I shouldn't be on this screen while I do it. Oh, Compass and T-Bowl. I love them both. We're gonna take Compass though. I think in the long run, this early on, Compass is a little better. I think it's just a little better. We didn't have that many Tears of Blood either. But it's just... There's just a lot of things I just disagree with. Oh, there it is. C6. I do recall his C6 being like one of the better aspects about him. So we're gonna fight that. I do, you know, there's the context of Stick Slay. There's many things that have changed since I've used him. I mean, it's been over like 3 months, because I think I picked this up in like June or July. I think. Let's take you for the emblems and not just reroll constantly. Ice. No, we're gonna take Wisdom actually. So I mean, there's been, you know, since I've used him, like, there's been a whole fucking, you know, the huge update, you know, the Transcendent update. So there's that. But also, I've used other characters who were pretty garbage. So that also changes how, you know, you view another character. You're like, oh, this character was gross, but then you use somebody even worse, and you're like, oh well, never mind, that other character wasn't too bad. Again, I don't think this dude is like awful. I was kind of screwed there. He was great. He was definitely serviceable. It was just in the moment of using him, I just didn't like him, but. I was also like less informed, you know. At that point in time, I didn't have that many. Let me take the skill wisdom actually. I know the slay wisdom is probably the better choice. Look at this option in front of me. Okay, look at this. We're gonna go the embers. We're gonna go the embers. It just felt like 145. Are we serious? That is insanity. That was really good. I'm not gonna lie, that was fantastic. We're gonna take the vigor. Probably should be taking strength. Getting that one quicker is better, I guess. But back onto the video. It just little takes like that just rub me the wrong way. It's like, yeah, he also, like, in that pinned comment had to be like, dudes, just because I didn't say it in the video doesn't mean that I condone what the wife did. And it's like, well, yeah, obviously, not saying it in the video at least once, and people are gonna take their own thing, but it's just how you went about it. Because, you know, this might be a little hyperbolic, but it's like somebody, you know, telling a story about how they got robbed, right? They got robbed from somebody. What's wrong, guy? You know, a little apprehensive about fighting me? A little glitchy moment? Okay, it's fine, dude, it's fine. But if I get robbed, right? The person that robbed me is in the wrong. And I tell a story and somebody later goes, and in me telling a story, it doesn't matter who I'm telling it to, and we'll even say in front of my kids, yeah, this dude robbed me, this piece of shit robbed me. I was robbed, and people are like, well, you probably shouldn't be talking about that way in front of your kids. Like, it's really, really bad that you talk that way in front of your kids. They're gonna grow up and they're really gonna hate you. Again, this is not a great analogy, but it's just like you could be isolating them. They need to trauma and blah blah blah. It's like, we're not gonna acknowledge at least that I was robbed and the person that robbed me was wrong. I'm not gonna bring that up. Should probably take the actual strength, but whatever. We take charm. I don't know, I feel like that was a terrible analogy because it has nothing to do with the parent. I don't know, I just feel like, God, that's so good. It's like wide. I don't think you can aim it though. Not that that would be all that worth it. I guess when somebody is like so objectively in the wrong, pointing it out just seems redundant, but I don't know. And then he equates it to his own trauma, which somebody in the comments said, yeah, hot take, and he kind of gets annoyed. He's like, yeah, funny calling my trauma or my lived experience a hot take. I have the same lived experience, and it was a hot take because it's not a one-to-one. Because Oz in the video, in the actual video, talks about how he had a parent. He doesn't say which one, but if it's anything like mine, well, technically both of my parents did it, but one did it more than the other. Usually what happens is it's the wife, the mother, that does a lot of the shit talking about the father. There are fathers that do it, but from what I have known and from what I have experienced, it's mostly mothers. I think fathers are like a dick. Oh my God, that was 200. That was insane. Is this guy even a response fucking move though? Okay, that's a little wild. Wow, that just absolutely befuddled me. What was I talking about? But anyway, so he talks about he had a parent who would shit talk the other parent, and the other parent that was getting shit talked never really said anything, just kind of left it alone and was the bigger person, and you know, didn't bring it up, didn't shit talk the other parent back, which I think is, you know, it obviously is great, but it is different. Unless his lived experience is my mother cheated on my father, or my father cheated on my mother with the neighbor for over a year. And, you know, one shit talked, but the other one didn't. It's like, I don't want to be that guy who's always the same exact thing, because both of my parents shit talked. My mom shit talked my father more, but only because I lived with my mom, which obviously, you know, changes. But I mean, the few times my dad saw me throughout the year, he also shit talked my mom. His was, no, I think they're pretty objectively the same. It almost felt like he was shit talking her because she was shit talking him. Because there's a fine line between pointing out something that to your kids, being like, hey, this is something that your father used to do, and it's one of the reasons why I didn't want to be in a relationship with him anymore. A great example for me is my dad has a temper. Not towards other people, towards inanimate objects, like video games. He just gets frustrated, but he never takes it out on people, ever. Same thing with me. I've never, you know, I don't get angry and then start punching walls and I just get loud, which is not great, but You know, it's not, I'm not attacking people out of anger. I'm just not that type of person. We'll take the finger. But one thing my mom could do, you know, could have done, I should say, in those moments when I'm a kid, is that temper. It's not a very attractive quality in a partner. Something that your father did. And it was just one of those things. You can do that and then immediately follow it up with a positive that the parent does. Is this thing you might want to, you know, that's one thing to think about, but this is another quality that you share with him that is a positive. You're very caring, you're very whatever it is. And I think that is a fantastic. You can point out the negative that a parent does in order to teach and go, hey, you might, like, I see this in you. This is something that turned me off. This is something I didn't like in your father. It's why we divorced. One of the reasons that why we divorced. Might want to work on that. But another characteristic I saw, this was a positive. This is a positive. Focus on that. My mom never did that. He's like, just like your father. I'm like, oh, great. That's endearing. That tells me a lot. That doesn't help me. If you're just gonna shit talk the parent, you're not helping the child. If you're gonna bring up a fault of the parent in order to better your child so the child doesn't fully go down that route, that is how you do it. Because it's constructive. It's just, you know, yes, it's just, you know. Are we being constructive or are we being destructive? Just one of those. One of those. But yeah, anyways, so back to Oz. It's not a one-to-one comparison because yes, having a parent when they both split for whatever the reason was, excluding like cheating, but if I had to assume they just divorced, which I could be wrong, maybe one of his parents did cheat. I recall him mentioning. I haven't watched that many videos of him in comparison to how many that he has. Watched a lot though. So I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive they not amicably divorced, but it was like a mutual divorce. I could be completely wrong with that. I might be thinking of another person entirely. I might be thinking about Daniel Thrasher actually. No, his parents are divorced, but it was, I feel like their divorce was, anyways, it's a side tangent, but that is different than shit talking the significant other of somebody that, you know, of the ex that cheated. I think that's completely reasonable. And it sounds, I could be wrong, but I mean, it's like fairly new too. And we're not gonna mention the fact, like a lot of people do mention it and I agree with them. Like, oh, so we're just gonna not acknowledge that a fair partner is now just buddy with the kids in a like a parental type role and an authoritarian type role. And again, if the sexes were reversed, people would be like, why does she have anything to do with those babies? Why is she in the same house? And like, well, I think it'd be completely fine. I guess this one. Don't really care too much about the slashes. Unless it's for my normal attacks, it's kind of useless. Yeah. So his moveset is serviceable. He does have just a kick move, which is hilarious. But you can aim his... You can aim it. We'll take the wisdom since I'm gonna say charm. That C6 is really great. It is fucking wide. But at the end of the day, I think everybody in that scenario, you know, it wasn't a great scenario. You know, having a cheating mother, and it's kind of relevant. I know, in my opinion, a one-off cheating, like it just happened to spur the moment, that is more forgivable than a year-long behind my back cheating. Those are way worse. And people like to think that that is the quote-unquote better version. And it boggles my mind. And it's again, it's like choosing between a you know, constipation versus having diarrhea. You don't want either. Just one is a little bit more enjoyable than the other, if even by a little bit. Or if you know this Bristol Stolz are a 1 versus a 7. Which a 1 is basically constipation, and the 7 is diarrhea. Okay, get off my tits. Man, we have not seen that 200 again, and I really wanted to see that again. I mean, one of those outliers, you know, if everything aligns just right, everything just aligns just right. We're gonna take this one for the everything. I guess speed. This is a lot of slay and speed. I should actually go through and see which emblem has more of what. That is not what I wanted, but sure. I guess we'll make myself weaker. I haven't unlocked. Oh, okay, so it says 2 and 3. Oh! What the hell is this moveset? That is wild. I'm not gonna lie, that is straight up wild. I was gonna say this guy has like a B or so moveset, but I think with the EX, this is an A moveset. No, I mean, being consistent, well, this is a shitty Musou attack. And I think I gotta give this moveset an S. I think I straight up gotta give it an S. Let's do charm. I almost said reduction. Reduction. Oh, no, yeah, no, definitely, we want this dude. This dude's got a 120% slay. No choice I need to make. No choice I need to make. Yeah, his C6, like, well, it just, I mean, is great. And if it was only his C6, I mean, yeah, I mean, that is my criteria. It's fun to use. They come out quick. It's very fluid, very easy to do just by button mashing, in a sense. Mindlessly attacking. I don't know. I mean, his quote unquote weakest combo is his C4 skill, right? I think this is an S move tier. We'll take her just for the slay. Having said all of that, we don't have. Oh yeah, I guess that's who I need to add. I need to find Yuji Yaso. Nope. Need some barrier damage. Ooh. We need Guanyin Pain too. Don't even need. I mean, we are on level 4. It'd be way more noticeable if we were on traversal level 5. Yeah, but we're doing fine. We're doing great. Gotta get that. Gotta get that. We'll take the Matsukaze. But I mean, what is everybody else's opinion on how to converse with the children when it involves mommy or daddy cheating on the other? Not even shit talking the parent, because I think objectively that is not something you should do. But shit talking the partner. I mean, if I'm being objective, like, this is an S+ moveset. Even with the fact that you need to wait, I think the strength, baby, the strength. But it's just always weird when, in my opinion, when somebody is hurt, especially if it's a man who's hurt, he just has to kind of like take it on the chin and not express his feelings about being hurt in modern society sometimes, at least on the internet, at least on Reddit, because he's deemed as toxic or whatever. And it's also weird that people will automatically start making weird assumptions. I guess another side tangent, when people will say it like it's a good excuse for some reason, when people check out of their marriage and they have the checking out of the marriage blamed on the other partner, it's kind of baffling to me. Well, I checked out for years. It's like, what? Didn't try to communicate? Well, he should just know. Did you communicate? Or she should just know. Did you communicate? It's also kind of what like am I the asshole is in general. Is just, did you communicate? Was there any point between either of you two to communicate this information? Oh, there wasn't? Well, people aren't mind readers. Well, he should know. No. Like, if I get in a relationship with a guy and he does something that irritates me, but I never bring it up, and then finally I just hit my breaking point and yell at him one day because he's doing this regardless of whatever the thing is, like, I don't know, not doing the dishes, or one of my pet peeves, not putting the lid down on the commode, but I never communicate with him that I don't like that. How does he know to change it? If I don't say anything, he has to assume, or he's left to assume, that it doesn't bother me. And then there's a point where it's just like, pick and choose when you're gonna, like, should everything be a fight? Should everything be contentious? Like that one video, I think it was on Smosh that I heard it, the woman that showers like a fucking maniac, where she gets into the the tub, then turns the water on, and then puts the spigot up, or whatever it's called, the device that allows the water to divert to go to the shower head while she's standing underneath it. Instead of, I don't know, like a sane person turning the water on, because you just turn the faucet on. It doesn't matter how long you had that faucet on, because the minute you pull the tab up or so to have it come out of the shower head, that water immediately is going to be cold. It's going to, you know, it's going to be quick that it changes temperature to the correct temperature that the water is, but it's going to be cold. The fact that she just stands underneath that tells me all I need to know about her. It's just weird. And she was putting up for it for 20 years, and her husband just couldn't learn, just didn't think about it, I guess. And I think they're both at fault. It's a simple task. All you got to do is just push it down. And the thing that's even weirder is there are faucets, like my current apartment is one of them. When there's no water pressure going to the faucet, that little pull tab thing goes down. But when there's no water to it, oh, son of a bitch. There's no water on the faucet. It just, it goes down. It stops. If I turn the faucet back on, it comes out of the faucet head, not the shower head. So it'd just be one of those, like, yeah, he didn't show any effort, but she, I don't know, at year 5, should have been like, okay, you basically are refusing to want to do this. Let's get something that will just make it impossible for you not to forget or so. It is weird being, trying to devil's advocate it. It's like, I mean, communicate, but, also you have communicated, at least going based on your post. Some people suck. A lot of people suck. I definitely don't need that. We're gonna take this chance. Ooh, and we're rewarded. What does that put me? 10, almost said 12 or something. Well, his Musou is solidly an A. I think that's what it's been the most consistent, is in the 120 to 130 range. Yeah, well, it was like 110s. There's just not enough. There's not enough people. Should really be relying on his EX moves, because these I think are just a little better. These are great. And now I think I might be overinflating certain things. Ow. Should be a good fluttering. Oh yeah. That was great. That was fan-freaking-tastic. Yeah, I think, obviously it's gonna change when I, eventually get everybody taken care of and played and stuff. But for right now, we're giving his moveset an S+. I think I gotta be consistent, because every one of his moves are valid. There's not a single combo that isn't worthwhile using. Though, I think I'll be a little strict. Well, I guess we'll say it's S. I guess I'll use him. We'll be S, since you do have to get 8 skill. I think it's fairly easy to get 8 skill, but for right now, we'll say that's a slight negative. Oh, hey, look. Jangly House is finally unlocked. I wasn't even paying attention to getting him unlocked. I'm not looking forward to the next 2 weeks. Not this week, but next week. So the last week of September, and then the first week of October. Because I get to go to another store. And it's a store that's not that much further from where I live. It actually might be theoretically closer. But the store manager has or is retiring or so. So I'm going to train them on how to do inventory and stuff. Like the weekly inventory, not the yearly inventory. Making sure the product on hand is correct. I'm just not looking forward to it. Because my store is number 1 in our inventory, like weekly inventory and stuff. My store is number 1. And it's number 1 because of me. Straight up because of me. I am the reason. And going to another store and dealing with their back room and just having to deal with garbage, the necessary people to getting it done. So that was a good one. And that wasn't 200 in and of itself, but that was definitely in the high hundreds. It was definitely in the S range, but it's only happened twice now. It's like super optimized. So I think A is definitely a fair assessment for him. For his Musou, anyways. Well, that was an unnecessary unnecessary Musou. Musou. You're so stupid. Is this... No, this is a buff anything, but... I mean, it gives me vigor. I don't really need anything else. I never did find Yuji Yasuo, though. I guess that's who I should have been rolling for him. But I never found Kai or Taro. So that's unfortunate. We don't have any barrier damage. Didn't even find... Not that I looked for him, but... I didn't even find a Shibata either. But, you know, we're in Traverse at level 4. It's not that hard of a thing to get through. I mean, his C4 is great. It just comes out quick, and then boom, you can just immediately go into yeah, break his barrel. Get out of here. I think the only person that could have made my build just that much better would have been Guan Ping. I guess speed. 8 speed is pretty good. 8 dodges. 3 dodges is great. Consecutive dodges, I should say. Alright, who do we got? Nobody good. I mean, Charm. Skill, I mean, it doesn't necessarily do anything for me. Shut up, phone. I mean, I guess it's one away from something. Oh my... This entire time, I totally forgot that I had Art of War. Oh my god. I don't want to keep the people that are there. No, stop it. I'm a fucking idiot. We'll go like that. It's fine. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. I don't know why I just now realized it. I have the intelligence of a gnat. What are we looking at? 510 attack. That is insanity. Oh, bullshit. I call bullshit. Bullshit. Angon Ning isn't even activated. Like, straight up, he's not activated. I'm almost positive he's not activated. Wait, is? Okay. If I had to really guess there, it would not have been activated. But I guess I found somebody that's Zheng Dong. Couldn't tell you who it was though, because I know I didn't find Ling Tong, and he's the only one that I know for a fact is. Get me out of here. Okay. Why are we struggling this far? He should be dead like 10 minutes ago. Just whacked my desk again. We got... Always really want to make sure I'm not leaving an emblem. I mean, I'm on level 4. It's not like I'm gonna save this run or anything. No. I don't think so. Fuck you, bitch. Ow. Ow. That hurt. You're a big stupid meanie head. We're not going to symbol gauge just yet. Because there's no reason to. Get me out of here, get me out of here. We're gonna be hit by the most telegraphed move of all time. Never use it. I could have used it like 20,000 years ago. Yeah, not even an issue. So yeah, this guy is shut up, Edma. This guy is very good. He's, you know, very strong. I think my drink has a fucking hole in it. 519 emblems. Even taking into account that he cannot take advantage of the barrier damage from being Wei and Commander, because he's the one that gives the barrier damage. We didn't have any barrier damage on this run and didn't really have too much of an issue. We did have that record of sin that increased our attack, but it was only like 20, 26, 30. It wasn't, I don't know. It's like, you know, low percentages towards barrier damage with wound, with slay or wound or whatever. So, you know, it was okay. But I think still objectively his emblems are A, because he can still take advantage of Sao, so that's 70% attack and defense. Brave General has 2 forms of barrier damage. So I think it's fine. Him not having it isn't going to negatively impact him like it would like somebody like Peng Tong. Because Peng Tong doesn't get any barrier damage. He at least gets 1. And Wei has other things to offer, so... Well, he also has that attack buff too, by 8%. We'll have to see how many ways we had at the end. There's so many ways to traits. I think I'm gonna err on the side, because I think I was gonna say C, but these are definitely B. I don't think they're any higher than that. The attack speed increase, I never once saw the icon on my character, but I wasn't really looking over there too often, so maybe we had it and I didn't realize it. I never really saw that activate. Musou charge, I did see that activate, or see the effect of it. His build, a potential, I mean, he's Wei. We're gonna say A for that. Moveset, we're gonna say S, because it was really great. We're going to default to an A, because I think that's what he was averaging out to be. There was the, like, 180 damage one, or kill one with his Musou, but then that one that was like 201 or so, which is insane. But those are outliers. I'm not gonna, if you get one, you know, one time of 200, like, I don't think everybody could theoretically do that, but one time is not enough in my opinion. And I'm in a great mood. I did thoroughly enjoy him. He was better than what I was fearing, from what I was recalling him being. He was still very good. I think he is a very solid character to use. Yeah, 100%. 5.2, yeah. I think he's great. I think he's a solid A unit. Some people might say he's higher than that. He might be. I think the only reason, so the reason I'm giving him an A instead of an S, even though Wei is so strong, I mean, you had to get lucky enough to find Wei, which there's so many ways. There's 23 of them. So you're, you know, out of 119, 118, you're gonna find 2 of them, or 22 of them. We're gonna reverse that. So there are 119 characters, 23 are Wei. When you're using him, there's only 118 that you can find and only 22 ways that you can find when using him. So, you know, I don't know. Maybe his build could be higher, but it's not gonna bump him too much. Because being objectively, I think his traits are just serviceable. They're just great. Because if we look at how many ways we got 13. That is 104. 104 attack is nothing to sneeze at. I'm not gonna lie. That is very good. It's fairly easy to do. I mean, again, it's not really gonna change. So even if I give that an S, because this is where it's, you know, somewhat forgiving, barring any S pluses and stuff, where like I'm almost positive bumping traits to an A, like it just bumps him to a 5.3. I think that's what it does, because technically he's at 5.16666 repeating, which is just rounded up to an S, or a 5.2. So it's only like a technically half, you know, a point and a half, or whatever. Just I can't even speak. So it's just kind of irrelevant. I think it's B, because it's because you do need Wei. There's no reliable way to get Wei, but some people may view this as A. I could see that. I mean, the summoning cooldown alone is really good. I think I'm gonna be a little stricter because if this is A, then I have to automatically make all the increases emblems S, and I just don't think those are S. And if I don't think the increase emblems by whatever percent are S, then I don't think these are A. Because they're definitely not comparable. Because increasing emblems on a whole is way better than just getting a flat attack increase. Especially certain emblems. Certain, you know, getting that 50% is automatically S tier in charm and strength, because it's just great. So I think A is the bare minimum of what Zahudun is. He's great. He's very good to use. Very fluid. His moveset is way better than I recall it being. His EX actually helps him. I think I'm gonna be a little bit strict because I can't be having S pluses all over the place. I feel like I've been getting out too many S pluses. And maybe he deserves that S plus in his moveset. It is great, but I don't know, maybe I'll be a little bit more strict because you do need to get 8 skill. But then again, at the same time, getting 8 skill is not that hard to do. It's not like it's a chore. If it was 12 skill in order to unlock your EX, then maybe it would be enough to reduce it, but I don't know. Because I would say without it, his C2 and C3 are kind of lackluster in a sense. They're not all that great to use, but with his EX, his C1 or C2, and definitely C3 are very fun to use. I don't know why I never, because I don't recall ever using them. I only ever really stuck to his C5 and 6, which are great in and of themselves. So, I mean, I would more so give his moveset an S plus than increase his traits or build though. Which does, funny enough, does change his ranking by a lot. Because what, they give him 4 more? Actually, I don't think it changes it by too much. Makes him a 5.8. Which is a solid S. You know, rounding up and all that. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment. In this vein, linking that post, may not link it, but I'll maybe link the channel or so. Because that video I was talking about with Oz came out like 5 or so months ago. So, and I just found him maybe a month ago. Quite frankly, I know I heard some of his like a good bit ago, but now I'm really watching a lot of his, listening to a lot of his takes, or a lot of his videos. And again, he's he has some wild takes, but I think it's fine for people to have some wild takes, regardless of whatever the reasons are. Like, we're not the same fucking person. So it was just weird how certain people view certain things, and I don't know. You know, give me your thoughts on that matter, and what you think about it. Maybe I'll find the post and link that. I probably won't. It sounds like too much work. This is the internet. We don't give effort. As always, I hope you have a good rest of your day, week, month, or year, depending if you want to come back to this channel or not. And if you do, please hit that subscribe button. I'd very much appreciate it. Toodles.